This is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN Network, and we are a proud media sponsor for the upcoming Precious Metal Summit Beaver Creek, which is being held virtually this year. Joining me right now is Brandon MacDonald. He is the CEO and director of Fireweed Zinc. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is FWZ on the TSX venture. Brandon, thank you for joining me today. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks. How about you?
Can't complain, right? Nice
Yeah,
day.
beautiful
Guys are
weather in
blue.
virtual Beaver Creek.
I mean,
Yeah,
I can feel the breeze. Can you feel the breeze? I feel a nice breeze coming, But
yeah, I think that would be welcome in the home office sometimes. No air conditioning here.
no, oh man, that's for sure. Well, I wish you luck on that one.
Yeah,
So Brandon, for those, we've done a few interviews in the past, but real quick before we get into some updates, let's start with a very quick overview and history of Fireweed, and then we'll go from there.
sure. Yeah, company was launched in 2017 around a zinc-lead silver project in Yukon, Canada, called the McMillan Pass Project. So since then, we've expanded the land package, put out a 43101 resource report and PEA. And lately we, had some good drill results last year that have shown that perhaps the resource is substantially larger than we previously reported it.
So Brandon, last time we talked was actually at Precious Metal Summit last year, 2019. So let's get an update. What would you say are some corporate highlights from the last 12 months or so?
So shortly after Beaver Creek last year, we put out the last of our drill results from the drill season in 2019. The highlight of the last few holes was a couple big hits at Boundary Zone, which was a new zone that was not in the 2018 resource. So that included, a hole that was 230 meters true width of 4.1% zinc. The first 100 meters of that just shy of 8% zinc, and that's from surface. So this is very healthy grade on, a big fat intersection from surface. So reflecting, real tremendous open pit potential. So that got a lot of people's attention. And, building on that into the new year, right around March at PDAC, we had an announcement from the Yukon government and the Ross River Dene Council, one of the First Nations in our area, that they were collaborating on $71 million worth of work funded by the federal government and the territorial government on 2 roads in the area, both of which are needed for access to our project. So in our 2018 PEA, we had included 100 million into the CapEx for improvement of one of those roads. So we're starting to see that expense be alleviated. And we have, believe that this is kind of a proof of concept that the rest of the improvement of the government road will be funded by the government too.
Got it. So over these last 12 months and even currently, I mean, what would you say is the one thing you get asked about the most from investors, and hopefully we can address it here?
Yeah, up until, it was early July, we had only raised enough money to kind of keep the lights on. So there was a lot of questions about, do you think you can find a way to drill this year, et cetera. But when things were at their lowest because of COVID, the capital wasn't there. And even if the capital was there, the dilution would have been punitive to do drilling this year. But thanks to bouncing back, come July, we were able to put together a $5 million funding package, which was actually healthily oversubscribed. We went out for $3.5 million initially. That means that, we are going to drill a bunch this year, and we are going to test drill quite a bit into that boundary zone that we, had the great results from late last year. So that was kind of like on everyone's mind, like what's happening with boundary, right? So that we're getting back out there to drill it is exciting.
So also let's give the audience a little update on the zinc market itself. We've been seeing, gold markets, silver markets, everything kind of, having a little bonanza here, so what's been going on in zinc? Can you update our audience?
Yeah. So when things were at their worst in March, April, zinc was down to about 84 cents a pound, I think is what it bottomed at. It was mid 80s anyways. Has since bounced back to about $1.10. So that's a nice, healthy recovery. And we went from having probably half on a fully loaded, all-in cost basis, half of zinc producers might have been underwater at 84 cents. Now I think, it's probably 15 to 20%. So a little bit closer to a truly healthy market, and perhaps a little bit closer to a long-term incentive price. But I think in terms of the long-term forecast or medium-term forecast anyways, as a result of the economic damage because of COVID-19, we're seeing a lot of direct fiscal stimulus, and a lot of this is going to go into infrastructure, because infrastructure is one of the few places that a government can say, like, look, I need to spend literally $1 trillion to stimulate the economy. Well, where can you do that? It's roads, it's bridges, it's other infrastructure, it's rail, etc. And infrastructure is commodity demanding, in particular iron and zinc, because it's galvanized steel that goes into a tremendous amount of the building of this infrastructure. So fundamentally, if you think that the number for globally for infrastructure spend as a result of this is going to approach 10 trillion, which is, I think, what they're talking about between, China, the rest of the BRICS and EU and the US and what have you, then that is an immensely bullish, factor for medium to long-term zinc. So for us, that this is great. It takes us from sort of the depths of a unprecedented global pandemic to blue sky that maybe was even not possible pre-pandemic, right? So we're excited. We think we have one of the best zinc projects out there. And when, the big boys start going shopping, I think we're going to be high on everyone's list.
All right. So you alluded to my next question already a little bit earlier when you mentioned about, being capitalized to do some drilling later this year. But let's get a full package. I mean, what would you say are some 1 to 2 things investors should look for from what you can tell us moving forward for the rest of this year going into 2021?
Yeah, there's the simplest thing to look for, which is the rising tide factor. That kind of affects all company, but I think that as zinc prices increase and as lead prices increase, and silver has increased a lot, and that's a meaningful component of our economics, the best companies rise first and rise furthest. And we truly believe we're one of the best in this space, right? We have one of the healthiest resources with biggest upside potential. So, watch for that. That's something out of our control, but it certainly has a big impact. Now, within our control, we're doing a bunch of drilling this year. We're trying to get a sense of the scale and grade of the boundary zone, and try to wrap our heads around that opportunity, as well as potentially certainly test at least one other greenfields target within our project, and firm up the data on some others and potentially test another one or two. So it's the key thing for us is that the 2018 resource, which only included 2 of the 4 known deposits within the project area, was already world-class. So we're going to be, in pretty rare air soon in terms of a unparalleled project.
Well, with that, where can my audience go and follow along the Fireweed Zinc story?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, fireweedzinc.com is our website. We're on Twitter, Fireweed Zinc, and LinkedIn and stuff like that too. So, we try to be socially active and engaged. Certainly, I'm on Twitter as Yukon Brandon, which is equal parts sort of mining, investment, politics, and the occasional photos of kids. So yeah, it's well worth keeping track of.
Hey, we're all humans too. Let's show that human side. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, Brandon, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. Good luck. Stay safe. And I look forward to our next update.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Again, my name is Robert Kraft. I'm your host on SNN Network, and we're a proud media sponsor for the upcoming Precious Metal Summit Beaver Creek, being held virtually this year. Brandon will be there on behalf of Fireweed Zinc. And thank you all for watching.